Namaste yogis, it's Crystal with Island Yoga here on the south end of Hilton Head Island, and today I'm going to guide you through a bit of a shorter practice. If you do have a couple of blocks or some firm cushions, you can use those as props, but if you do have yoga blocks and a blanket or a thick towel to support you, you can use that as well. All right, let's come to seated. So your legs can be extended or they can be crossed. You can take support for the knees on either side if that feels more comfortable for you. Shoulders come forward, up by the ears, back and down. Just close the eyes and start to breathe from the back of the throat in through the nose and out through the nose. Just taking a little time to come into your body and into your practice today. Keeping the face relaxed. The tongue is away from the roof of the mouth. And keep the eyes closed and bring the hands to heart center, hands in prayer. If you'd like, you can set an intention for your practice. Bowing your head to seal the intention. And we'll flutter the eyes open. All right, today we're going to start with 3 cycles of breath. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up over your head, palms pressed, maybe gaze lifts. Exhale down the center. Big inhale, up, fill the lungs. Slow exhale down, empty the lungs. Last one, inhale up. And exhale down. Good, we'll take right fingertips to the right. Lightly pull right ear away from right shoulder. Chin stays parallel to the floor. Place the head back to center. This time we'll take left fingertips to the left, lightly pulling ear away from shoulder. Chin stays parallel to the floor. Remember, we're not forcing anything. No pain or strain in our yoga practice. Moving with ease. Use your hand to place the head back to center. Bring the chin down to your chest. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep a lift in the heart even though the chin is down. Head hangs back if it feels okay. Parallel to the floor. Let's open up the shoulders a little bit next. So we're going to cactus the arms. So like goalpost arms, on the inhale, we're going to tap the the elbows closer together, pulling the belly in and slightly leaning back. And on the exhale, we're going to keep a lift in the heart. Shoulder blades come closer together. Think about pulling your elbows back and down. All right, here we go. Inhale, elbows touch, belly tight, slightly leaning back, slightly leaning back. Exhale, lift your heart, shoulder blades come closer together, elbows come back and down. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Yes, use the hands to close and ease. Swing our legs to one side, make your way into a tabletop. Shoulders above the wrists, your hips are above the knees. On an inhale, curl the toes, rock tailbone up, surrender the belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, point the toes away, push the mat away, angry cat back or hips to heels. Inhale forward, curl the toes, tailbone up, taking your time. No rush as you move. Exhale, point the toes away, push the mat away, come back. Last one, inhale forward. And exhale back. Good. We're gonna take 2 blocks about toward the center of the mat. I'm gonna start highest level. All right, so we're going to start with the left foot forward, the right knee stays back. Curl back toes under, straighten back leg, come up and down, up and down, up and down. If that doesn't feel nice, you can always skip it. We'll release the back knee down, point the back toes away from you. All right, so we're gonna start the swan pose first. We're just gonna hold for 10 breaths. We're gonna take left block to the left, right block to the right, heel toe your left foot close to the right wrist. And think about keeping shoulders and hips facing forward. So you might need to rotate the right hip more down and forward so you're not twisting the hips. You're even, and the back leg is straight. You can go by feel on that. If you notice that your left glute is up, you can always roll your blanket to bring the floor up to you. All right. From here, you can decide to stay with shoulders above your hips, or you can decide to take the upper body further forward using your blocks, or you can use blocks and something else. We're just gonna hold for 10 slow breaths today, not too long. Support for the chest, support for the head, support for the glute, whatever you need here. And just keeping in mind what you're doing with your back leg, the tilt of the pelvis, and your gaze is totally secondary to what's happening between left rib cage and left knee. And if this is too much, you can always take figure 4 stretch on your back. Last couple breaths. Good. We're going to make our way out of this. So if you took the upper body more forward, putting some weight into the hands, we'll take the gaze forward or up for a breath or 2. And then we'll carefully remove the blankets. If you did use the blanket to support you, just off to the side for a moment. I'm gonna move my bolster and the block. So if you don't have all this stuff, again, just moving as carefully as you can and using what you have available today. All right, so I'm gonna firmly put some weight into the hands, curl the back toes under, shift the body weight slightly right so that I can send the left leg back. Be mindful if you have something behind you like a wall or furniture. All right, we're gonna come back down to the knees when you are ready. We'll resume this position, both blocks toward the middle of the mat or so. I'm gonna start highest level. We're gonna take the right foot forward, the left knee is back, curl the left toes under, straighten the back leg and come up and down, up and down, up and down. If that does not feel good, you can skip it. And when you're ready, you can drop the back knee down, point the back toes away from you, knee pop. All right, we're gonna come to the side. I like to go lowest level with the blocks for stability for my hands. Heel toe right foot to left wrist. One day, maybe that shin parallel or parallelish to the top of the mat. So for some people, it's just too much strain to take that foot further forward and get that shin parallel. That's the case for me, and also my hips are a little bit crooked, so my foot is closer to the groin. All right, I'm going to use my blanket once again to support the right glute. So just kind of placing it so that you have the right amount of support for yourself. Rotating left hip down and forward. Try to keep shoulders and hips nice and even. So just keep in mind that both sides might be completely different. We all favor one side over the other. If you don't have all of these props, you can use fists and just support yourself using fists and stay in your back bend version. It's perfect. Otherwise, you can decide to take support and take the upper body more forward. Support for the forearms or the elbows, support for the chest, support for the head if you want to take it. There's different ways to arrange your props. Do what feels intuitive and nice. And maybe you decide to start in one version and ease your way out of it. Remember that's always okay. We'll take 10 breaths or so right here. Steady, even breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Last couple breaths here. Yes, we're going to put some weight in the hands. Walk yourself back. We'll take the gaze forward or up for a breath or two. And then we'll take our props just off to the side. I'm gonna move my blocks and a blanket. You don't have to transition my way, but I'll cue you this way. We'll put some weight into the hands, curl back, toes under, body weight left, send your right leg back. Just being mindful of your surroundings as always. Maybe bending the knees and pedaling the feet a few times to let that go. And then we'll come back down to the knees when you're ready. All right, we're gonna come into happy cow face, also called shoelace pose. So we'll take our right leg on the bottom, left leg on top. We'll stack knee on knee. So if that's not happening today, over time we're working to stack knee on knee and maybe even feet out on both sides. Happy cow face because your stacked knees are the cow head and your cow ears are pretty even on both sides. For some of us, and it was the case for me for a long time, I needed to have a much looser shoelace and support that top leg. So if you need to take a looser shoelace, you can do that. You can also decide to take this version on your, take a version on your back. So if you were to do that, I'm gonna just demo from this side so you can see me a little bit better. You would come onto your back, you would stack one leg on top of the other, and you can decide to pull the knees apart in opposite directions or simply pull the knees closer to your chest. So that's an option as well. It's the same stretch, but if it feels okay, we're gonna stack knee on knee, facing forward. So for me, it often feels better if I have cushion for the seats or a little bit of elevation. So if you need to sit on a bolster or a pillow or a rolled up blanket or towel, sometimes that can help as well. All right, so if this feels delicious, and for me, it feels very intense to hold even for 10 breaths, maybe you decide to take the upper body further forward. You can also decide to, whichever leg is on top. In this case, it's the left one. You'll take your left arm under the right, and then take the upper body more forward for a shoulder opener. So for me, that's entirely too much. I'm going to stay right here with my hands on blocks. Your palms don't have to face down, don't have to face up, but sometimes when I face the palms down, I start to clench or tense into the hands and unconsciously grip. So it's nice to just sit here in stillness, your best version, whatever that means for you. Remember, your shape does not have to look like mine or like it did yesterday, or if someone else is practicing with you, it does not have to look like your neighbors. The good news about yoga is that we never arrive. It's a forever journey. So just be nice to yourself. Honor your body wherever it is for today on this side, whichever version you're taking. Last couple breaths. Good. All right. Very carefully, and if you took the upper body more forward, you'll work your way back. Unwrap the arms if you took the eagle wrap. Shoulder opener, And then when you're ready, we will carefully remove the top leg. You can decide to lean back and just kind of windshield wiper motion with the knees from side to side. It can feel really nice. And when you're ready, we'll find stillness with the legs. We'll take opposite side. Remember, you might need to take this one on your back if this side is super tight. All right, so we're going to stack your right knee on top of the left. Cushion for the seat or not. You can decide to take support for the hands. Sometimes, especially if your arms are a little bit shorter, sometimes it's a further reach to the floor. So it can be nice to just have that support for the hands so you're not tensing or reaching or gripping. Yes. So you have your right leg on top this time. So it'll be right arm under the left if you want to take the shoulder opener, cross at the elbows, cross at the wrists, and then come further forward. So remember, we're just holding 10 breaths here. For me, this is enough, so I'm going to stay right here. Keeping face and shoulders relaxed. Just doing a little self-scan and trying to ease your way into the shape. Sitting with sensation in stillness. But always taking care of yourself, adjusting as you need. And exiting is always an option. Last few breaths here. Good. If you took the upper body more forward, walk your way back. And if you took the eagle wrap with the arms, you can release. We'll sit upright very carefully. And remove the top of the leg. Same thing, you can decide to just rock the knees from side to side if that feels good a few times. And then when you're ready, we'll find stillness with the legs. We'll extend both legs out straight. You don't have to flex the toes back towards your face, but I do like how it feels in my ankles and the calves. All right, from here, I'm going to take fingertips or palms to the mat, inhale, lift. And then exhale, you come forward over the legs. Does not matter how far forward you go. We want to feel a pleasant stretch in the hamstrings. Stabby, shooty, electrical pain, no good. And we'll hold here 10 breaths or so. Maybe reaching crown of the head beyond the toes. So even if your chin is down, we're still thinking about creating some length in the spine as we stretch the hamstrings. Good, relax the legs, feet. We'll walk or slide the hands back. Yes, let's come into a twist. We're gonna take it on our back. So I am going to use my blanket to cushion my head. Ease your way onto your back. We're going to extend right leg long, bend left knee towards you. Your right hand comes to the knee. Knee goes right, arm goes left. Maybe you shift your gaze beyond your left fingertips, maybe not. So I'm gonna give you some options here for a variation. You can always decide to extend the top leg out. So if that's too much on your hamstrings, you can always bend the leg back in, or bend your, just bend your top knee rather, so that you are not extending the top leg out. All right, so maybe you do that. Maybe you decide to bend the bottom foot closer to the backside using left hand to pull the foot in. So this is cat pulling its tail. If it's too much, you don't have to take the quad stretch. You don't have to take the hamstring opener. Otherwise, we'll hold here for 10 breaths, doing what feels right with your gaze. Maybe you take your gaze The opposite side of the extended leg for a complete spine twist. All the while trying to keep both shoulders attached. For me, left shoulder comes off the mat a little bit, but just working in the direction of your intention as we hold. If you took the optional quad stretch, you can release bottom foot, bend your top leg back in. We're gonna pull the low belly in so that we can come back to center. Yes, this time we'll extend left leg long, bend the right knee towards you. Left hand comes to knee, knee goes left, arm goes right. Maybe shift your gaze beyond your right fingertips, or you can decide to look to the ceiling or close your eyes, collarbones face up. So if it feels nice, extend the top leg out. If that does not feel good, bend the leg back in. Otherwise, extending top leg out for a hamstring opener, or adding your quad stretch. Bottom foot comes closer to the backside. Right hand pulls the foot even closer to you, energetically working to keep both shoulders on the mat. We're gonna hold here, 10 breaths. Yes, if you took the quad stretch, release the bottom foot, bend top leg back in, stacking the knees, pull the low belly in, both knees come back up through center. All right, from here we're going to extend both legs up, palms face down. If rocking your way back up to seated does not serve you today, you can always come onto your side and push up to seated. So especially if you have injuries to your back or the tailbone or just anything else, you don't have to rock up to seated, you can come up your way. Otherwise, we'll use the weight of the legs to come back to our seat. You can keep your legs straight, or you can decide to come into a butterfly position. So we're gonna hold here, short little butterfly position with the legs, bottoms with the feet together. We're allowing the fingertips to come to the mat. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, you come forward. You can also decide to interlace your fingers to seal the toes, using your elbows to widen the knees. Chin comes down to your chest. Maybe face comes closer to the feet. Maybe not your best version. We're just gonna hold here a few breaths. And we'll exit slowly, slowly, maybe one vertebra at a time. Chin comes away from the chest last. Yes, all right, you can decide to cross the legs or keep them out straight. I am going to take cushion for the seat. Closing the eyes, shoulders come forward, up, back, and down. One more time with our neck rolls. Chin comes down to your chest. Left ear, left shoulder, cradling head if you need. Head hangs back if it feels okay. Right ear to the right shoulder. Chin comes back down to your chest. Chin comes parallel to the floor. I'm gonna keep the eyes closed. You can do that or take a soft gaze. I'm gonna cue you for the final breathing exercise with my words. So palms can face up or down. We're gonna keep a lift in the heart. So we're gonna do a 3-part breathing exercise. For the first one, we're gonna inhale to the belly. We'll pause and then fully exhale. For the second part, we're gonna inhale to the heart space. Pause and then fully exhale. For the third breath, we're going to inhale either to the third eye or to the crown. We'll pause and then fully exhale. So I'll cue you for the body parts for the first cycle, and then for the last 2 3-part breathing cycles, I will just cue you to inhale, pause, and exhale. No need to go to your full breath capacity. If you need to exhale before I cue you for it, it's always okay. We're just trying to find stillness and calmness in that pause. So sometimes we unconsciously start to panic. Try to keep the body relaxed. Try to keep the mind at ease as we find that pause in between the breaths. Here we go. We're going to inhale to the belly. Pause. Complete exhale. Inhale to the heart space. Pause. Complete exhale. Inhale to the third eye or crown. Pause. Complete exhale. Next 3-part cycle, inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Last 3-part cycle, inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Pause. Exhale. Keeping the eyes closed. We'll resume normal breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. hands to heart center, thumbs to the sternum. Thank yourself for taking good care of yourself. Good things happen every time you step on your mat. You get the energy and mental clarity to be your best self. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice. May the rest of your day be the best of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. If you have not subscribed to my newsletter, please visit hhislandyoga.com and subscribe. You can also shoot me an email and I can add you to the email blast, hhislandyoga@gmail.com. That's hhislandyoga@gmail.com. If you have not visited the website, hhislandyoga.com. You can also text me at 803-420-2829. It is such a pleasure to guide you even during these trying times. It's especially important to step on your mats and get mental clarity for yourself so that you can better serve others and we can get through this collectively. Thank you so much. Please tune in tomorrow. I will be adding daily videos. If you have any feedback or suggestions for me, please email me, hhislandyoga@gmail.com, or text me, 803-420-2829. Thank you so much.